Welcome and thank you so much for joining us today. So we are going to be looking at trig application with 3 dimension. So when we're thinking about 3 dimension, we're thinking about 3D shapes. So to start off, I'm going to read this question and I'm going to break it down for you. The triangular faces of a right square-based pyramid are at an angle of 60 degrees. So here we know it's the angle of 60 degrees. The height of the pyramid is 30 meters. Find the perimeter of the base. So to start off, we can find the rate from this here to the end. So half of the width and length of our base. So we can do that and then double it to find out our sides. So that means we've got 2 pieces of information of our triangle. The first piece of information that we've got, that I've already put in there, is my 60 degrees. The second part that we have is we know the height is 30 meters. What are we trying to find out? The perimeter of the base. We need this part here. So I will make that P. So when we're looking at the opposite angle, opposite side and the adjacent side, which is A, that means we are using tan. Because so cut toe. Tan is tan alpha equals opposite over adjacent. So we have our angles of tan 60 degrees. We know we've got 30 and we are still trying to find out our base, so A. Now to work it out, we need to get A by itself. So if I times each side by A, it cancels it out on this side and becomes A tan 60 degrees equals 30. I want A by itself. So to do that, I'm going to divide this side by tan 60 degrees. When you divide one side, you must divide the other as well. So it cancels it out on this side and becomes 30 over tan 60 degrees. That leaves me with A by itself. So to find out what A is, I'm just going to type in 30 divided by tan 60 degrees. And that gives me 17.32 meters. Okay, so now I know that A is 17.32. I'm going to double that, so timesing it by 2. So that it means each of my sides are 34.64 meters. If I would like to find out my perimeter of my base, that is adding each of the sides. Because it's a square, all sides are the same, so I just need to go 34.64 times 4, because each side is the same, and that gets me 138.56 meters. Let's have a look at another 3-dimensional trig application question. Okay, here we have 3 cameras and they operate at ground level view and they view a rocket being launched into space. At 5 seconds after launch, the rocket is 358 meters above the ground level, and the 3 cameras A, B, and C are positioned at an angle of 28 degrees, 32 degrees, and 36 degrees to the horizontal. At the 5-second mark, which camera is closest to the rocket? So the first thing I want you to think about, the further you are away, the further I am away, the smaller my angle. If I'm standing right next to the rocket up in the air, I'm going to have a bigger angle. So straight away, I can see that C, which is 36 degrees, that is the closest. So C, as it is 36 degrees. So camera C. The next thing it asks us is the distance between the rocket and the closest camera is. So, if we're thinking about C, I'll rub this part out. If I'm thinking about C, I'm going to draw my triangle. I know C is an angle of 36 degrees. I know my height is 358. And it's asking us the distance between the rocket and the closest camera. So the distance between the camera here and the rocket here. This is the distance we are trying to find. To do that, I need to think about, well, 358, this side here is opposite to my angle. This is the hypotenuse. So I am using O and H, so sine. Sine alpha equals opposite over hypotenuse. Let's fill in what we can. Sine 36 degrees equals 358 over H. I want H by itself, so I take H to the other side, meaning I times both sides by H. I want a H by itself, so I divide both sides by sine 36 degrees. If I'm multiplying by sine 36 and I divide by it, it cancels out. And that leaves me with 358 divided by sine 36. The 358 divided by sine 36, and that gives me 609.06. And you need to make sure you always put the metric units in. Our metric units is meters, so it's meters. 609.06 meters distance between camera C and the rocket. Really hope that helps you understand how to break down a question, really using a picture to help us. If you need any extra help, message me and get back to me, please.